She's the B girl with a PhD in breakdancing.
Thank you.
That's right, she's back, and this time she's announcing her retirement. Now, this interview that she did on the Jimmy and Nath show was not as cringe as her first interview she did on The Project. That's where she proceeded to blame Australia for her loss at the 2024 Olympics, as well as blame the judges and audience for not knowing what talent actually looks like.
Unfortunately, we just need some more resources in Australia for us to have a chance to beat world champions. Historically, unfortunately, we haven't had the best track record of winning world championships.
In the post-Olympic interview, Raygun, with the straight face of a seasoned con artist, blamed everyone but herself for her abysmal performance. She stood there, unwavering, as she spun a web of excuses that would make even the most skilled politician proud. Her ability to deflect blame was nothing short of impressive. Australia, she claims, has failed to provide adequate funding and support to breed talented athletes. According to her, the lack of resources was the primary reason for her poor showing. In fact, she claims that all athletes that come out of Australia are losers waiting to happen. Surely you can't blame her for this, can you?
Historically, unfortunately, we haven't had the best track record of winning world championships. I don't think that's just on me.
She painted a picture of an underfunded athlete struggling against the odds, a narrative that conveniently ignored her own shortcomings. The international judges and the world were biased against her unique style. She argued that her innovative moves were simply too cutting edge for the inexperienced panel of judges.
Well, one of those judges from New Zealand was speaking actually in your defence in explaining what had happened, and he said this.
All us judges talked about how she was going to get smashed, absolutely smashed.
This video is sponsored by Mueller Sports, but more about Mueller Sports later.
Would you do the Olympics again? Would you? If
No.
you wouldn't do it again. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So you continue to break?
I still break, but
Yeah.
I don't compete.
You
I'm
won't
not going to
compete again.
compete anymore. No.
Was that ever? What was the thoughts going into the Olympics? Was it to keep doing this?
Yeah,
forever?
I was going to keep competing for sure, but that seems really difficult thing for me to do now to approach a battle.
I must say that I'm actually very happy that she has announced her retirement, and the only reason why is honestly because she just can't come to grips with reality. For anyone who doesn't know, Rachel Raygun Gunn had the privilege of representing Australia in the 2024 Olympic Games. The world quickly realized, however, that her talents didn't lie in breakdancing as much as they lied in cringe, deflection, and a victim mentality. Unfortunately, no matter how much time this woman has spent with the fact that she is utterly talentless in the field of breakdancing, she just doesn't get the point. She doesn't understand that this wasn't just about breakdancing. This was about her breakdancing while representing her home country of Australia on the biggest stage in the world. This was a prominent event and a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Instead, she wants to act like this was some small-town talent show being held in a high school gym, a place where she gets to express her inner childish notions. Lady, you were literally representing an entire nation, and you embarrassed them and then proceeded to blame them for your failings. Do you really blame the world for despising you?
As soon as I qualified, I was like, oh my gosh, what have I done? Because I knew that I was going to get beaten, and I knew that people were not going to understand my style and what I was going to do.
Her frustration was evident as she recounted how she knew in advance that she would be losing the competition. Not because of lack of talent, but because of lack of funding and the fact that most of the world is not familiar with breakdancing.
A lot of the responses, though, is also just due to people not being very familiar with breaking and the diversity of approaches in breaking.
We understand that this was quite the traumatic experience for you, but just imagine how the world feels after you blame it for your failure. And that's not even taking into consideration how the breakdancing community feels. Unfortunately for Raygun, this has been a very painful experience, and no one likes pain. If you're interested in keeping your life as pain-free as possible, I highly recommend you check out Mueller Sports. They've been around for years, making sure athletes stay athletes. And if you aren't an athlete, don't worry. Even the everyday person can benefit by living a pain-free life with Mueller. In particular, I recommend their Revive compression technology. It will make sure that you stay pain-free, unlike Rachel Gunn's ego. Check out the link in the description for a discount on their products, and thanks to Mueller Sports for sponsoring this video.
You know, like this folder really helps me. I've also got another folder of like positive messages that people have sent me, and it's just like that's what gets me through. You know, the people that have like, you know, you have inspired me to go out there and do something, you know, that I've been too shy to do. You've brought joy, you brought laughter, you know, we're so proud of you, and just like really freaking lovely things that people have written. And that is just like, that's what I hold on to.
And let me tell you right now, this so-called folder that she has of inspirational messages, it doesn't exist. I can guarantee you that. Nobody is sending her messages telling her that they've been inspired to break dance because of her artistic abilities, as she would call them.
What I did actually wasn't very shocking. You know, it's just a different approach in breaking. You have the athletic style breakers, and you also have the more artistic style breakers, and all of them are very valid.
Perhaps aboard the Virgin Voyages cruise with Richard Branson, expressing yourself, or perhaps embarrassing yourself, is just fine, but not on the Olympic platform. For those of you who don't know, Ray Gunn was invited aboard a cruise by esteemed billionaire Sir Richard Branson after her display at the Olympic Games. Perhaps this is just what Ray Gunn needed in order to release some stress after the whole debacle.
You got a mic on, thank goodness. That was great shooting, mate.
Right? It's about relaxing, it's about having fun, and it's about being yourself, and I just totally love that.
I was going to say that we think you're an inspiration. We have absolutely loved the fact that you have brought joy to a world that needs more bloody joy, doesn't it? Wow.
One positive thing that comes out of all of this is that I think she's finally realized that no one wants to see her breakdance anymore, except for her husband and her cats, of course. Another positive that came out of this is the fact that she has now seemed to embrace the situation.
Recently becoming the second most popular Halloween costume in the world.
Huge.
The one, the only, Raygun!
Thank you. Thank you so much. What a welcome. It's a weird thing. Yes. You know, that actually happened at a bar. Actually, when I was on the cruise ship, some guy looked at me and he did the kangaroo pause. That's so good. And I was like, yes, that's me.
You're like, he either thinks I'm Raygun or I work at Taronga Zoo.
Yes, one of the two.
He was just confirming you're Australian.
Yeah.
Aussie? You're an Aussie, yeah? I can hear the accent.
Rachel, I wanted to bring up, obviously, you know, and we spoke about it on the show, second most, like, biggest costume for Halloween
world,
is
not
people,
just the world.
like,
I know.
this is insane.
It's insane. It's insane.
But the thing I wanted to ask you is, where are people getting the costumes?
Oh, yeah, some of them had some pretty impressive attention to detail.
Yeah.
And I, you know, even watched a guy doing a review of it who then added the,
come get ready with me.
the wig at the end, and it was just fantastic.
Where is
honestly.
that I read about you recently is that you collect memes that people have been posting.
Yeah,
Do you-
Stella Mag interview.
Do you have a favourite meme?
Oh, it's really hard. Let me consult
Actually,
my
I was on
folder.
She's opening the meme folder. I love
Look,
this.
there was one that I found recently that I just absolutely died.
My classic
And-
favourite of you was it's the one on the windshield wiper.
Oh, that is
a good one.
fantastic,
That's a good
isn't
one.
it?
I love that one. That was really
Look,
good.
this one is high quality. The Kangaroo Kid.
Oh, that is... So instead of the Karate Kid, someone's put in the Kangaroo Kid. You can
And
see
she
Raygun,
said,
the
"Oh,
meme face.
that is good."
Standing on the thing. She taught them the secret to b-boying lines in the mind and rhythm, not in the moves.
And when did you sign the movie rights over?
I know, yeah. Well,
Everyone thinks you're going to do reality TV. You're actually doing a movie.
You're doing a movie, an adaptation of Karate Kid. I mean, this one's funny though too, as well.
Oh, The Shining?
The Shining.
The leg breaking through the door.
This is what I mean when I say I've got a very memeable face. There's such a range. There's such a range. I am a kind of a big deal
Have
now.
you thought of that, though? That you could kind of do what you want? Is that thought process?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just still kind of, figuring it
Mm.
all out and kind of taking things slow as well. You know, there was a huge reaction, so I think I've got to kind of, take things one at a time.
Initially, she found it very hard to embrace the laughter and embrace the jokes and so forth. I've gotten hundreds of comments on my previous videos telling me if only she embraced the situation for what it truly was, people would not have been so hard on her. understanding that she's not as talented as what she thought she was, being accepting towards others' opinions and thoughts, and taking responsibility for her actions would have changed people's perception of her. Couple that with having a laugh at herself would have probably saved her reputation.
And I just wanted to also just encourage people to get out there and to dance and to be creative and to have fun, because I think, at the end of the day, that's what it should be all about. But it is interesting, all those people that were like, so easy, I can do that. And it's like, well, I'm looking forward to seeing your entry. And then tumbleweeds, you know. No, look, I think everyone can dance. And I think, it's like anything, it just takes some practice. But also, dancing is so much fun and it makes you feel good. And I don't think people should feel crap about, the way that they dance, So if you get out there and you have fun on the dance floor, then just own it. Look, it's surreal and it's still impossible to process. The conspiracy theories were totally wild, and it was really upsetting because, I think I felt like I just didn't have any control over how people saw me or who I was, who my partner was, my story, and so it was really upsetting for a number of different reasons. And, I think you're always going to get some negative comments, like it's actually not possible for it to all to be positive. So trying to bring more positivity, trying to encourage people to dance, to have fun and to be creative and to be themselves, to be their authentic selves, whatever that might look like. And I'm just, that's why I love this Find a campaign. It is getting people, and I'm loving some of the videos. I'm totally having a laugh, and it's fun, especially when people are dressed like me. It's hilarious, and I love that this joy has been brought to the world.
I'm sure that it's not too late for her to fix her reputation as long as she keeps up a more realistic, less whiny attitude, but only time will tell. Again, nobody's against positivity, and nobody's against having fun. But do you really think that the platform of the Olympic Games is the time and place to dance your little heart out like a 12-year-old girl who just got her first set of tap shoes? That's the point that she misses. Hopefully now, she understands that she doesn't have much talent in the game and that her living room is probably the only place where she should be breakdancing. But if you're going to breakdance and make an ass out of yourself, just make sure you don't blame your home country for your incompetence. You can see on her face that she was a bit uncomfortable with this interview, but she knew that she had to do it, and for that, I do give her credit. I also give her credit for acknowledging the fact that the world has despised her for quite some time without trying to gaslight the audience and act like they're despising her for no reason. I didn't hear any real excuses for why her breakdancing is so terrible in this video. I didn't hear her blame others, I just heard her stick to the facts and speak the relative truth, which was refreshing. If only she had done that in the first place. Please let me know, guys, what you think about this. Do you forgive Raygun for what she's done? Should she be apologizing because she still has yet to do so? The entire world is waiting for her to apologize, and I guess we'll just have to continue waiting on that. Perhaps she has had some personal growth over the last few months. Let me know in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.